digital spy saying that a sequel to The Joker is in the making, Den of Geeks says Joker 2 might not happen after all. Fans want more of it, and the production house wants the big fat box office profits. Don't swipe or click away, because here is Joker 2 first look. The quote was, "I will do anything Joaquin wants to do, and I would, but the movie's not set up to have a sequel. We always pitched it as one movie, and that's it," said Todd Phillips, the director of The Joker, addressing rumors about a possible remake of the movie. So who are we to believe right now? You mean to tell us that Warner Brothers Pictures won't want another $1 billion infused into their revenue stream? Or were they concerned about ruining with a sequel, so they decided to stay away from them? Well, whatever the case may be, all of the fans are unanimous on the question of a Joker sequel, and they all say, "We don't know." We'll talk more about that later. For now, let's see why Den of Geeks says that this movie will probably never have a sequel.
For my whole life.
First of all, they say that the movie is not like your typical superhero movie. There's no action and there's no adventure. There's just drama and the occasional trip inside Arthur's crazed mind, where we as the viewers have trouble deciding whether the story is real or fictive. Arthur's world is full of trauma, bottled up resentment, anger, failed aspiration to become a stand-up comedian, and a mental illness that causes him to burst out laughing uncontrollably. It's hard making a second movie about a character like that. Of course, we have to contend with the character's canonical status. The storyline of Arthur doesn't connect with any of the other DC narratives. It's a standalone movie that almost perfectly depicts the upbringing story, or at least one variation of it, of Arthur Fleck and his transformation into the Joker. All of the above-mentioned reasons are probably why we'll never see a sequel of Joker, but that's not what Digital Spy says. According to them, Joker 2 is not only possible, but it's also already smashing that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, it's already in the making. We can go back to November of 2019 when it was reported that Todd Phillips will be coming back for a sequel. The rumors also said that he would be serving as part writer along with Scott Silver of the Joker script. Now, we all know these remain just that, rumors. They kept denying everything until May of 2021. This is when The Hollywood Report published an article about the 15 lawyers in showbiz that have been managing the signing of some major contracts. Warren Dern is one of them, and he stated that Todd Phillips managed to strike a deal to write the sequel of The Joker. Has there been any official news from Warner Brothers? Nope, but that doesn't mean that it's a lie. They could just be keeping their mouths shut about the whole thing. Also, we know that Todd Phillips prepared 3 stories for Joker, which would have served as backup for the movie. He said, "I pitched it as 3 movies, Joker being the first with me, and then these 2 other movies, with 2 other directors, but I don't really want to name them, because then it'll become a thing and I'm pulling these directors into it when I've never even told them about it. It was just me telling Warner Brothers about it, so maybe in the sequel, he'll take one of these 3 stories, polish it up nicely, and then make the movie." Speaking of making the movie, what would the plotline include? We all know that the movie had that comic book ending where Arthur walks out of Arkham Asylum, dancing in the hallway after having killed one of his doctors. Before all of this, we know that the Joker has finally come out of his cocoon. He's no longer shy, he accepts his craziness, and he has even stopped taking his medication. He's the Joker that stirs up riots in Gotham, and we saw just how chaotic they can be near the end of the movie. So, since the movie ended around the same time Bruce Wayne's parents got killed, there's still a lot more to talk about and explore when it comes to Joker's character. Some fans have suggested that the sequel could talk about Arthur's relationship with his supposed stepbrother, Bruce. This would give them a lot to explore, and we could even see how Joker built his relationships in the underworld, slowly taking control of Gotham and transforming it into his playground. But maybe he could be introduced as a villain in another movie. Since The Batman will talk about the beginning of the Caped Crusader and his vengeance, it's not completely crazy to think that Joaquin could take on the role of the main villain in some of those movies. If you ask us, the New York Post has a solid prediction. They didn't fly over all of the negative comments of angry fans, they addressed them, and they said something along the lines of, Listen, if you guys are gonna be making a sequel, then you better take a look at all of these fans who are saying they want you to leave Joker alone. Many of these critics claim that the sequel will only ruin an already legendary movie, and that's why the director and the production house should just leave it be. And to be honest, we agree. Sequels always seem rushed, they're almost never given the same love and care as the first movie. These fans are concerned about the quality of the sequel. According to them, the best thing to do in a situation like this is to introduce Joaquin's Joker as a villain in one of Batman's movies. If Robert Pattinson does a good job, then he could very well have a sequel. Capitalizing on the character's popularity, they could make Joker the main villain in the next Batman movie, if there ever is one. Suicide Squad is another potential spawning ground for this villain. We all know how Joaquin butchered the role completely, and we also know that we just had the sequel to Suicide Squad. If they turn this into a trilogy, then the Joker appearing again in the movie, played by Joaquin Phoenix, is gonna accelerate the franchise's success.
Can you introduce me as Joker?
But since the interview with Peter Travers, Joaquin Phoenix has had a change of heart. This was back in the fall of 2019, but still. In the beginning of when Joaquin was asked how he feels about the role, he said that he doesn't consider it to be the biggest one of his career. However, since then he has been thinking a lot about the role, and he even talked to Todd Phillips about the endless possibilities they could take the character, had they made another movie. If you ask us, we think that they're gonna do the same thing with the second movie as they did with the first one. We're not gonna hear a peep out of them, and then a video of Joaquin is gonna surface that'll make everyone wanna go and see it. Now, we know that Joaquin has a rule about never doing sequels, but the role did earn him an Oscar for Best Actor of the Year. On top of that, with very little promotion, the movie grossed over $1 billion on a stingy $70 million budget. And yes, the scene in the end, where the Joker kills a psychologist, could be considered a cliffhanger. Now, we're not gonna sit here and say that Todd Phillips is greedy and wants that fat box office, but all three of the factors we've just enlisted could help push the actors in one direction or the other. This is why we're saying that Joker 2 is definitely happening. On a related note, do you want Joker 2 to be a standalone film, or would you like to see Joker be part of Pattinson's next Batman movie? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you'd like to see more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.